So then beyond that, you have your POV characters, and then you have your supporting characters. The supporting characters are there mostly to feed information to your point of view character. You know, you'll have the point of view character being the ignorant farm boy, and then the supporting character being the wizard who knows everything but only tells you the things that you need to know to drive the story forward. I feel like these characters, there's a temptation to have that one all-knowing character who can just kind of feed information whenever necessary, but there's a weakness in that storytelling style that I try to avoid. You'll find that I don't have those sorts of characters because you get this feeling in a lot of stories that I find dissatisfying, where you say, you know, like, if Dumbledore had just told Harry Potter that in the first place, we wouldn't have all these problems. Or, you know, if Gandalf had just said what he knew to Frodo early on, they could have avoided everything and just ridden an eagle over to the mountain and thrown the ring in. You know, it's like if the eagles can just fly over there anytime they want, like, what are we going on this big quest for? And so you want to be careful about those sorts of characters that are so all-powerful and so all-knowing that they don't neuter your adventure. They don't take away the real struggles that your characters need to go to in order to accomplish their goals. So then when it comes time to actually build your characters, once you've decided what sort of point of view you want to do and how you want, the method by which you want to feed information to your readers, then you start building your personalities, and then you start deciding the details about your characters. The first thing that I think a writer needs to do when they're doing this is think about who their audience is, or who they want their audience to be. Some writers are perfectly content to write to a niche audience, to just write to fantasy readers, to just write to science fiction readers, and or to just write to men, or to say, I want to write to bring in female readers, I want to write to women, or I want to write something that will be accessible to a certain ethnic group or something like that. And you can base your characters on that. Or you can say, I want to write something that's going to have mass appeal, that's going to appeal to a larger number of people. And in that case, you want to have characters that are more generally accessible to everyone. Or to have a number of characters that give you a sorry, I'm blanking on the word, to just give you a variety of options so that your reader can have some characters, different readers can relate to different characters. So in my case, I have a warrior character who's male, Arlen, the warded man, is the adventurer, and he's the fearless one, and the one who does the majority of the fighting. Then I have Lisha, the healer, who's a scientist and very learned and but also very peaceful, and is usually trying to stop the fighting rather than aid in it. And then I have the musician character who wants to go on these adventures, wants to record them, wants to tell the stories, but when the action starts, kind of wants to get out of the way. And by doing this, I'm hitting purposely a bunch of different groups of people. And you can see how different people will relate to different characters. Pedro was telling me yesterday that Roger the musician is his favorite character, whereas I've gotten many emails saying that Roger is a person's least favorite character, and they'd rather he just not be in the book at all. And it's the same thing with a lot of the different characters, and that's both an advantage and a disadvantage at times, because when you shift point of view from one character to the next, or from one chapter to the next, if you're reading a chapter about a character that you really like, and the point of view shifts to one that you like less, sometimes that can be frustrating to the reader. But if you do a good job of making all of your characters compelling, the hope is that after they turn a few pages, they'll say, "Oh, all right, I'm enjoying this one too," and be frustrated when that one ends and the next one begins. You want to keep your readers wanting to come back to the characters after you leave them off, so that they can, so that you can thread them together in a way that keeps people compelled and keeps people turning pages. You don't want someone to see, "Oh, we're changing characters, I'm going to put the book down for a little while." You want them to keep reading. So then, I feel, for me personally at least, I tend to go a little overboard in character creation. I think this comes from playing role-playing games for a long time. I played a lot of Dungeons and Dragons when I was in high school and college, and I was always the dungeon master. So I would not only have a couple of characters that played directly with the players, but I would be creating the innkeeper and the monsters and the people that are whispering in the tavern, and creating all those individual characters, I think, was a very good exercise, because when you're building a world, you need to fill it with interesting people, not just the characters that are the point of view characters, but all of your supporting characters need to be interesting as well. They're not just a way to feed information to your reader or feed information to your protagonist, but they're also what fleshes out the world and makes it feel real, and makes it feel compelling, and makes it feel interesting. And so it's important to take some time to flesh out the personalities of those characters. Even if you don't introduce it all in the book, it's important for you to know as an author what those characters are like, how they feel about things, how they're going to react in different situations. And to kind of reinforce that basic belief system, whenever a supporting character has a line, you want to kind of reinforce their personality so that it resonates with your reader. And it's important to make sure that you have a wide variety of characters that can introduce different belief systems, different morality, different perspectives on the world, so that you can challenge your point of view characters with moral dilemmas that will make them have to take pause and consider why they're doing what they're doing, and whether or not it's the right thing to do. Those sorts of questions for your character become questions for your reader. And I think that relationship is what makes a book compelling, what makes you think about a book after you put it down. And so you want to challenge your characters, and through them your reader, with a lot of different questions like this. So